You know, I've bumped into a lot of men in the work that I do, and most men will say this: my childhood wasn't that bad. But if that's true, why are you reacting the way you are today? What if the thing you've minimized is the very thing shaping your life? Today, we name what you've been avoiding. Stay with me. We're back for part 2 of our 6-part series on reversing generational curses. I'm your podcast host, Steve Cummings. Let's get straight to it. Most men, if I asked you about your childhood, you'd probably say something like, yeah, it was fine, nothing crazy, it wasn't that bad. And I get it, because compared to someone else's story, maybe it doesn't seem that bad, right? But let me ask you a better question. If it was fine, why are you reacting the way you are today? Why? Do you shut down in conflict? Do you get defensive real fast? Do you avoid harsh conversations? Do you feel like you're never enough? See, that didn't come out of nowhere. Let me introduce you to something most men avoid: the father wound. Not because you want to ignore it, but because you learned how to survive it. Some of you had no father at all. He left, or he passed away, or he was just absent for whatever reason. Some of you had an abusive father, either physically, emotionally, or spiritually, like I have. And some of you have a passive father, a nice guy, but never engaged your heart. And here's what almost every man does. He minimizes it. It wasn't that bad. He did the best he could. Other people had it worse. And listen, those things might be true, but they don't mean it didn't impact you. Let's go to Scripture. Let's look at Joseph. His brothers betrayed him. He sold into slavery, stripped him of identity and belonging. Now, that's not a small wound, guys. That's trauma. And yet, Joseph doesn't pretend it didn't happen. Later in his life, he says, what you meant for evil, God used for good. But men, I don't want you to miss this, okay? He didn't call it good. He called it what it was: evil. Now, some of you have never done that. You've skipped straight to, it's fine, I'm over it, God used it. But you've never named, that hurt me. And until you name it, you carry it. Let's look at Tamar in 2 Samuel 13. She was violated by her brother. And what did her father, King David, do? He got angry, but did nothing. No justice, no protection, no restoration. And Scripture says she lived desolate in her brother's house. That's what happens when pain is not addressed. It doesn't just disappear. It isolates and it lingers. I've been there. And for a lot of men, that's your story. Not always abuse, but absence, silence, distance. A dad who never said, I'm proud of you, I love you, or the big one, I see you. So what did you do? We came up with survival responses. We adapted, and we learned to perform, to achieve, to stay quiet, and to not need anything, because needing something felt unsafe. But men, here's the truth. When you refuse to feel, you will repeat. You may not repeat the exact same behavior your dad did, but you'll repeat the impact. He was distant, you stay emotionally unavailable. He was critical, you're hard on yourself and others. He was absent, you're physically present, but checked out. Different expression, same root. Let's look at another example. Let's look at Moses. He grew up disconnected from his biological family. Identity confusion, displacement, and what happens? He reacts in anger and kills a man. Now, that reaction didn't start in that moment. It was already in him. And here's where this matters for you, because this isn't just about your past. This is about your present, your marriage, your kids, your leadership, and your legacy you're passing on to your grandchildren's grandchildren. You can't give away what you don't have. And if your heart has never been seen, it's really hard to see others. But men, I want to give you some hope. This is where everything changes. In the New Testament, at the baptism of Jesus, before he does a single miracle, before he performs, before he proves anything, the Father speaks this and says, "This is my Son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased." Now, did Jesus need that? No, he already knew who he was. The Father did that so the rest of the crowd watching would understand that. There was no performance. It was just identity. And that's what we didn't get. But it's what we've been given now. You are not a man trying to earn approval. You are a beloved son who already has it. But I want you to listen to this. You don't experience that by pretending your past didn't affect you. It doesn't work that way. You experience that by bringing your story into the light. So let me ask you something as we get ready to close today. What are you minimizing? What have you been calling fine that actually left a mark? And where did you learn to shut down? Where did you learn to perform? And where did you learn to protect your heart? Because the moment you name it is the moment you stop being controlled by it. Men, you didn't start this, but now you're starting to see it. And that changes everything. If this has hit you in a deep way, don't keep it to yourself. Send it to a man who came to mind while you were listening to this, because this is what we're all about here at I Know a Guy. We don't have ads, no gimmicks. You're just men sharing with other men.